Good afternoon, my lovelies. Thank you for stopping by. Y'all come on in here. We're walking right by the table today. We have a requested video for you guys. So we're going to make ham and rice casserole. And the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start with our rice. So let's make that together. Now, I went ahead and added 1.5 tablespoons of butter to my water before it started boiling. And I'm also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. That will help it also to go ahead and boil. I'm going to put my lid right back on it, and I'm going to let it sit here until it starts to boil. Can y'all see that pretty boil? I'm going to go ahead now and throw in 1.5 cups of conventional rice. I'm going to give it just a little stir. And then I'm going to put this lid right back over the top. I'm going to let it come back to a boil, which will happen pretty quick. I hope you can see this. And then we are going to turn our cooktop down from an 8 all the way down to a 4. Okay, and we are going to set our timer for 20 minutes. And we're going to let this do its thing. While this rice is bebopping around, I have put about 2 tablespoons of butter in my little saute pan. And when that gets good and melted, I'm going to throw in, about a 1/4 cup of onion and about a 1/4 cup of bell pepper. And we're going to just saute these until they are nice and soft. And then we will set them aside and let them cool before we start mixing our casserole ingredients together. Butter's melted. Let's go ahead and drop our onions in there. Let's get them all. We like them all. No escapees on this trip. All right, and then we're going to add our 1/4 cup of bell peppers, and they don't get to escape either. We're just going to mix those around in our butter a little bit, and then we are going to just watch them, see what they do. They might dance or sing. You never know what kind of entertainment you're going to get in the kitchen. So anyway, we're just going to saute these up. I would guess maybe about 5 minutes, just until the onions are translucent and your bell peppers are soft. Hey, Alex and Daisy may stop by to say hi.
Hello.
We are going to have ham and rice casserole for supper. What do you think of that?
That sounds good to me, and I think that Daisy would like that too.
Excellent. All right, my lovelies. I'm going to bring this over and try to show you. I'm getting just a little bit of brown on my onions, so I turned the heat down, and they're just about ready to my liking. If you want to cook them longer, get them softer, you're welcome to. If you just want to throw them in there raw, you're welcome to do that too. This is about how I like mine, and so I'm going to turn my cooktop off, and I'm going to just set this on the cool back burner. I also have not opened this lid nor stirred this rice ever since we put it together. So if you don't want sticky rice, leave that lid on, no peeking, let it do its thing. It can do it without us. Our rice timer has gone off. We will remove that from the heat, turn our burner off, and we will still not touch it, still not open that lid. And I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. And we're going to just leave it there to absorb that water. When our 5 minutes is up, we can take the lid off of it, and we want to go ahead and stir it enough to fluff it up. And then, as we did with our veggies, we want to go ahead and let that cool just a moment before we start mixing our casserole together. Hey, babies, I'm still here. All right, while we've got our rice cooling and our veggies cooling, we're going to go ahead and start mixing up our casserole ingredients. I use 2 cans of cream of celery soup because I like it. It's yummy. But if you don't like it, use any of the cream of soups that are for your preference. And I'm going to just dump that right off in this. Make sure you have a large bowl because we're going to add all of our casserole ingredients to it and we're going to give it a good stir before we put it into our pan. So that is 2 cans of cream of celery soup. I have not diluted it. I've poured it straight from the can. I apologize to you about all that banging. It's a bad kitchen habit of mine, and I will try to do better about that. That's our 5-minute timer for our rice. So we are just going to, let me switch places here. We are going to take our lid off. Oh, that's beautiful, guys. Look at this. Look at this. You see all those little holes in there, and that's where the water has absorbed off into the rice. So I'm going to take my little wooden utensil, and I'm going to just give this a nice stir. Leave the lid off. And we're going to let that cool just a little bit, guys. We're going to go back over here. We have our 2 cans of cream of celery soup. Now, to that, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of milk. I'm using whole milk, but if you don't like whole milk or you don't drink whole milk, go ahead and add that. Any kind of milk you want to, honeys. Any kind of milk you want to. Because remember, this is our recipe and our kitchen, our rules. Speaking of that, I have got a question about my kitchen, my rules. Thank you, Scott. He asked if he comes and cooks in my kitchen, if it's still Granny's rules. And I said, well, if you're cooking, I'll let you include some of your own rules to it. But if you come and cook in my kitchen and allow me to video you doing it, honey, your kitchen, your rules, right? Okay, so we're going to mix our cream of soup and we're going to mix our milk, whichever kind we like. And, ooh, guess what? Granny made another mess. Okay, guys, look here. That's what I got. The next thing that we're going to add to this is going to be about 2 cups of ham. I've got it already diced up. And I'm going to just throw that right in the bowl. And I'm going to give that a mix. Yes. Step by step. We're going to build this up, aren't we? Okay, ham's in there. Now we're going to take our butter and our veggies that have been cooling, and we're going to get every last drop of that good butter. It just adds so much flavor here. If you don't like it, you know what to do. Granny don't have to remind you of the same thing every day. All right, we're going to give that a stir. For those that don't like a lot of vegetables, that you're not going to be upset with this. When you look and see, it's just not coated in veggies. It's just got a little color, a little flavor for us. All right, now we're going to take our rice that has sat here and behaved well for us while it waited its turn. It's still hot, but that's okay. We like it that way. And we're going to pour it right on top of everything else that's in our bowl. We're going to give that a nice little stir. And here is where we are at in our process. The Holly Boys are going to like this. It's going to be really juicy for them. Let's add, oh, I don't know, about 2 cups. I've got shredded cheddar here. Use any kind of cheese you want, but I like cheddar. I prefer that. My recipe calls for me to add, let me look. It calls for me to add half a teaspoon of salt. Now, I never add salt to mine. You do what you want to, but the ham is salty. Our cream of soups are salty. Our cheese is salty. So, you know, make your own decision and do whatever works for you, your kitchen, your rules. In my kitchen, I am not going to add salt. Everybody that wants extra can just go ahead and add it at the table. So we have basically mixed everything into our big old bowl. And this is what it looks like. And it is actually ready to go into our casserole dish. We are going to just take our casserole ingredients and we're going to pour them right into our casserole dish. I am using a 13 by 9 casserole dish. You can use any size you want to. If you would like to make up 4 batches with this, put them in 4 smaller casserole dishes. These make great fast food meals. They freeze wonderfully, and you can put them in a 350-degree oven. Put them in there at in a frozen state and let them cook until the soups are bubbly and they're ready to eat. You don't have to make a visit to any of those Archie places or have it your way places. You can do it right in your kitchen. Looks good. Next step, you can use crackers. You can use breadcrumbs. What my people love around here is plain old classic Lay's potato chips. I put them in a Ziploc bag. You can use a rolling pin and crush them. I just like to squeeze them with my hands until they get into the crumbs. And then I just open my bag and I cover the top, y'all. I cover the top till there is no more casserole in my eyesight, in my line of vision. So just spread that around on the top there. That's going to give us such a nice crunch. And look here, our casserole is complete. If you're not ready to cook this right away, go ahead and stick it in the refrigerator and it will be totally ready to go into the oven when you're ready for it. Again, like I said earlier, you can freeze this. You can freeze it in large quantities. You can freeze it in small individual quantities. But they freeze wonderful. They heat wonderful. And what a delight on a crazy day when you come home and don't have to think, what am I cooking for supper? You can come right in, not even have to stop by the grocery store, even the Piggly Wiggly. And y'all know I love that Piggly Wiggly. But you don't have to do anything but come home, pull this baby out of your freezer, stick it in the oven, and prop your feet up. You deserve a break, darling. All right, my lovelies, we put together a nice little ham and cheese casserole, didn't we? Come sit at the table for a minute. It wouldn't be a visit to Granny's house without a little bit of table talk. So I just want you guys to notice that whoa, I just broke my microphone right in front of your camera, y'all. Okay, so anyhow, you'll notice today that I am wearing red. Today is Friday, March 10th, and I just would like to ask each and every one of us to remember everyone deployed. wear red on Friday and let our men and women who stay up all night so we can sleep in peace know that we remember them, we're praying for them, we love them, and we're going to wear red on Fridays. If you want to, I'm going to, but I want to think about our military. I want to give them a little shout out and red, red for everyone deployed. Fresh from the oven, still hot and bubbly. This is what it looks like. All right, welcome to the table, Holly fellas. What do you think of the ham and rice casserole?
It's delicious.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Y'all enjoy your dinner.
Will do.
I have had so much fun with you today. It was a pleasure to make ham and rice casserole. I hope you try it and like it and enjoy it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time a new video comes up. And as always, there's always a seat at Granny's table. Bye, y'all.